Hi there and welcome to Mr. T's Maths. In this video I'll be showing you how to solve simple equations. So first of all, let's go through these basic types of equations. So we will start with x plus 3 equals to 12. Before we move on, you just have to understand that when you solve equations, you're basically looking for a value of x to make this statement true. Yeah, so what number plus 3 is equal to 12? Okay, so there are many ways to go about this. The balancing method, moving things from one side to the other. I would like to just show you one way of doing it, yeah, and that is by moving unwanted terms or numbers from one side to the other. So you need to think of this as you need to think that your aim is to have x on one side. So think of this as the left side and right, yeah, so left, right, and so on. So you want to end up with x equals and just a number here. Okay, well, how do you do that? Well, obviously there are some rules that you have to follow. You can't just move things from one side to the other. Okay, so first of all, what's unwanted here? Well, it's this number plus 3. Okay, so think about it. Here you have a number, you add 3 to get 12. So now in your head you need to think backwards. From 12 you take away 3. So the opposite operation of plus 3 is take away 3. Okay, and then you get your answer. So the first step, yeah, make sure your equal signs are aligned. Your solution needs to be neat. Yeah, now on this left hand side we are leaving this x, we leave it there, and we move the plus 3, so it's 12 minus 3. Okay, therefore 12 minus 3 is 9. Okay, so as you can see, we kind of solve downwards, yeah, on both sides. Okay, all right, let's go ahead to the next one. Now here we are having x take away 3, so in your head I'd like you to think of that opposite operation. If we take away 3 to get 12, then the opposite of that is adding 3. Okay, so we kind of work backwards. Now if we move 3 to the other side, we are only left with x. So this here I only have x, and then what's on the right hand side? You already have 12. Now you're bringing over 3, but you add 3 because you are performing the opposite operation. You're working backwards, yeah? So x equals 12 plus 3, 15. There you go. And that's your answer. Okay? Let's go ahead to the next one. 3x equals 12. Right? Again, what's unwanted here is this 3. Now you have to be careful because you might think, okay, this is positive 3, so when we move it there it's minus 3, but that's not the case. You need to look at the operation. So the operation between 3 and x here is multiplication. So when you move this 3 to the other side, it will convert into division. So the backwards operation is division. 12 divide 3, which is, yeah, x equals 4. All right, there you go, and that's your answer to this one. Okay, in the next one we have x divide 3, so x over 3. So identify that operation. X divide 3 is 12. So now work backwards. 12 opposite operation times 3 is x. Yeah, so we move this 3 to the other side. We only have x here on the left side. Now we have 12 because it's already there, and we brought over this 3 times 3. X equals 12 times 3 is 36, and that's our answer to this one. Okay, now I've left these on purpose to the end, yeah, for the end. What happens in this case? 3 minus x. As you can notice here, this is a minus x. So what I would do first is move this to the other side and rewrite this equation as 3 equals 12 plus x. Okay? So therefore, yeah, if you think about it, x, you want x on its own. It doesn't matter on which side you keep it. You want this x on its own. X here is, well, move this 12 to the other side. Now be careful, you already have 3 here. So if you move 12, some number plus 12 to be equal to 3. So plus 12. Therefore, when you move it over, it's going to be minus 12. And this is indeed going to be a negative answer. X equals minus, okay, 3 minus 12 is minus 9, which can be written the other way around as well. X equals minus 9 is exactly the same thing, yeah? Alright, and finally we have 3 divide x. So some number divided by x, which is equal to 12, okay? Now this x is in the denominator. I don't really like that, so I want to move it there. Okay, that's the first step. When you have x in the denominator, make sure you take it to the other side. Okay, so 3 is 12. Now if 3 is divided by x, when we move x to the other side, it will be 12 times x. Yeah, so 12x. And now x, okay, we have to leave this x on its own. So therefore we move the 12 to the other side. 3 divide 12, because over here is multiplication. Between 12 and x you have multiplication. So when you move it over there, you have to perform the opposite operation. So it's 3 over 12, and then you can write it the other way around. X equals, yeah, if you read it from right to left, x equals 3 over 12. So x equals 3 over 12, which actually can be simplified to 1 over 4. Okay, so yeah, let's go ahead and see how we can put this into practice by doing some more well, slightly more challenging examples. Yeah, so what happens here is that x is being multiplied by 3 first, yeah, then we subtract 5 to get 7. So keep that order in mind, because you have to work backwards on that. So I'm just gonna write it down for you. You should really be aware of this. But x is multiplied by 3, and then we take away 5 to get 7. So what's the order here? What's the first step backwards? The first step is this minus 5, the opposite of minus 5. Therefore, that's what determines what to move first on the other side. So therefore 3x equals 7 plus 5. 7 plus 5. Okay, 7 plus 5 is 12. So 3x equals 12. And now we perform this last step, moving the 3 on the other side. So x equals 12 over 3. X equals 4. Okay, so I'm taking my time here to explain this because it's very important to get it right. Otherwise, you won't, you won't find this easy. Okay, so in the next example, yeah, you can actually expand these brackets. So let's expand the bracket. We have a bracket there, 4 times x, and then 4 times 3. Yeah, 4x plus 12 equals 20. Okay, and if we look carefully at this equation, is similar, the steps will be similar to the previous one. Yeah, so x is being multiplied by 4, and then we are adding 12. So therefore the first thing will be to move this 12 to the other side. So 4x is 20 minus 12, okay, which is 8. X equals, moving this 4 over there, 8 divide 4, which is 2. Okay, we can always go ahead and substitute this here. 2 plus 3 is 5. 5 times 4, 20. Okay, by the way, this is one way of doing it. The other way of doing it is, if you think about the order, you have the operations here. We have x, we add 3 to this x, and then we multiply by 4 the answer, to get 20. So in this case, you could also just solve it by moving that 4 to the other side. So say 20 divide 4, yeah, then x equals 20 over 4 is 5. Move this 3 to the other side, so 5 minus 3, which is 2. Okay, so there are two ways here. I wouldn't do this step if this division here doesn't leave you with a whole number, otherwise you're just complicating yourself. Yeah, so I would just expand the brackets. Yeah. Okay, I have 2 more examples here for you. By all means, do pause the video at any time, yeah, any point in time, if you want to have a go at these, and then just compare your answers. Yeah, so here again, let's say yeah, as you can see, this 7, yeah, 49 divide 7. Okay, that's possible. So if you think about it, here is x is being multiplied by 5, then you take away 2, and then this answer, whatever the bracket is multiplied by 7 to get 49. So we could actually move this 7 to the other side and avoid this complication of expanding the brackets. So therefore 2 minus 5x equals 49 divided by 7, which is 7. Yeah. Now minus 5x equals 7. Be careful, here we have plus 2, yeah, so when we move it to the other side it's going to be minus 2, yeah, so minus 5x equals 5, and then we have x times minus 5, so when we move this minus 5 to the other side it's going to be 5 divided by negative 5, which is actually minus 1. Alright. Finally, 3x minus 5 equals minus 13. Okay, in this case, you see, minus 13 divide 3, it's not possible. So what I would do here is I would just expand the bracket. 3x minus 15 equals minus 13. Move the minus 15 to the other side. So 3x equals minus 13 plus 15, which is 2, so x equals 2 over 3. Yeah. If you struggle with expanding brackets, do have a look at my channel. I do have a video where I'm showing how to expand brackets. Yeah. And here are some examples for you to try on your own. Do leave your answers as a comment. Okay, and then I will answer back letting you know whether the answer is correct or not. Yeah, so let's see how many of you are actually trying this. Okay, and let's see how it goes. Let's see if you actually found this video useful. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed it. I hope now you feel much more confident in solving equations. If you liked this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. Take care.